Hello, everyone. Welcome once again. Totally Local Podcast. Monmouth County, Ocean County, colorful characters, entrepreneurs, and local businesses in and around the Jersey Shore area. That's right. Coming from you once again. Happy hour. Are we happy, Aaron?
I'm as happy as I can be.
That's right. Aaron Levine, LG Insurance. Here we are. Catch 19, Red Bank, with a super special guest. They didn't think I would remember the entire title, but I do. Mrs. New Jersey American Kristina Henderson.
Woo!
Did I get it all right?
You got it right.
I did. I did
much.
it. Thank you for being here.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here.
I could totally tell, based on our, however we've been sitting here for 20 minutes, your personality is so positive, it's so outgoing.
Thank you.
That I could understand why you won the title.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
There wasn't any kind of, there's no kind of physical altercations. You don't have to like get in an octagon and battle other.
No.
Right, you're not like hanging out like Mrs. like Oceanport is fighting like versus Mrs. Red Bank. You're not fighting in that capacity, right?
No.
It's just
all good.
Who's more congenial, who's the nicest. You have to kill them with kindness.
Well, it's there's a lot to it.
Get into it. What do you have to do? I couldn't obviously for a number of reasons, but number one, I'm just not
I think you
as
can do
nice. You asked Ming, Epic Shouts, Ming Chen, a Shared Universe Podcast Studios with us, hooking this all up, making it all work, making us look as great as we can, some better than others, obviously. But you were asking everybody, can I help? You asked the waiter if you could help him. I'm like, come on. Let the waiter wait. Let him do his thing. You just have to, wear the crown.
You know what? I like to talk with people and just hang out and help them if I can. Why not?
Yeah, I guess. I was sitting here like just some kind of jerk. I was just like, yeah, I want a drink. Get it. Move chairs around.
You are the star of the show. So
the guest is always the star of the show, and we've never really had a guest that had a crown on. I don't think so. Is it heavy?
It's not that heavy, actually.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So
is it sparkly enough, Ming? Is it sparkling?
Is it sparkling?
Yeah.
Definitely sparkling.
All right, perfect.
Awesome.
So, now there's a discrepancy. I said there was no gotcha moments, but I lied. There's a discrepancy in the investigation that I did.
Okay.
It says you're from Pine Beach, but you grew up in Colts Neck. Is that a misprint, or how did that work?
No, I'm not from Pine Beach. So I live in Pine Beach now.
Ah!
But I grew up in Colts Neck. I'm from Colts Neck.
Okay.
My business is in Red Bank. So
Right.
Red Bank is pretty much my spot because I'm in Red Bank every day.
That's where Henderson
yeah.
promos. Is it Henderson Promotions, or I saw it written both ways, either
Yeah.
Henderson Promos or Henderson Promotions?
It's Henderson Promos.
Okay.
So,
All right, good.
Yeah,
All right.
Henderson Promos.
So you're printing, you're making marketing materials for large
Yeah.
businesses across the country?
Yeah, so we offer over 700,000 branded items. We put logos on anything from t-shirts, hats, to golf bags, surfboards. Really, the sky is the limit. We embroider, we etch, we screen print. So we work with clients in all different areas. We work with entrepreneurs, we work with construction companies, we work pretty much with everyone, marathons. So really with us, it's cool because you work with all different kinds of people.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. Every day is a different day, which is really nice,
Do you throw it out there if you're on the phone with people? You're like, Mrs. New Jersey American, if you don't know. Do you throw
There's a
that
crown on in every Zoom call? That's
Yeah.
No.
Do
Just
people-
for appearances.
Do people bring it up ever? And they're
Sometimes
just like,
I've been out in the press a lot lately, so sometimes people mention that they've seen me on a cover magazine or they see me on some publication, and it's always fun to talk about and breaks the ice sometimes.
Yeah.
And, part of it's also I give back to a lot of nonprofits, so it gives me a bigger voice for nonprofits. It's pretty much the reason why I did it, was because it allows me really to give back on a greater level.
What were the first steps for that? Is there an application you have to fill out? Is there a background check? Are they calling your in-laws or anything like that? How does that
They're
work?
calling my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
No, it's you apply to do it and they talk with you over the phone and then you go for it. If they think you're the right fit, then you're on to the next step, and then you train for the pageant. You get fit, and then you train for the interview. It's about knowing yourself, being confident in yourself, and just being the best person that you can be, and being genuine about it. You know, I was already involved with a lot of nonprofits before I decided to compete Mrs. New Jersey, so it just kind of made sense for me to compete because it's all about giving back, and I already do that. So why not just give it a go and see what happens?
So is there, you know, when you're doing this competition, is there a lot of is there a lot of backstabbing, very dramatic, reality TV? You meet somebody, they smile with their mouth, but they're like, daggers with the eyes kind of a stuff? Or is everyone generally...
No. Yeah, it's all about like a sisterhood, actually. That's a misconception about pageantry.
Okay.
It's really about building your sisterhood. It's about making long-lasting friendships. These women are really out in their communities making a difference. And we're all kind of like-minded women, so it's a really great way to meet women who feel the same way about nonprofits. These women are doctors, they're nurses, they're entrepreneurs. One of my good friends, Mrs. Massachusetts, is building a church in Nigeria.
Whoa.
So these women are like a lot of substance, and they're incredible people with big hearts, and it's really about supporting one another, so you don't feel like you're really competing against one another. You just want to be the best person you could be. You give it a shot, but you also make these lifelong friendships. So I'm so grateful to have these really great friendships with these awesome women.
So what's the deal now? I didn't know if I was interrupting, if you canceled your flight to Vegas to be on the podcast, but they said like from the 22nd to the 29th, you're all duking it out in Vegas for the championship here. And how does that work? Are they doing it online?
Yeah.
Or do you have to fly out there? Like, why aren't you in Vegas right now?
So yeah, it was supposed to be right now. It was supposed to be in Vegas, but they, because of COVID, they changed the date to March.
Oh, cool.
So March 27th, I'll be competing for the national title in Vegas with all the other states. So I'm so excited to meet the other title holders and just have fun. Have fun in Vegas, get away for a little bit, and meet everyone, and just give it a good shot.
Are you bringing Ming as your cameraman? Are you going live in Vegas?
Yeah, Ming. Yeah.
Perfect.
I would love that.
I mean, I'm in. Sorry, honey. I got to go to Vegas too. I do a podcast.
Yeah.
Kind of like I did, when I went to Florida to podcast.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
So lucky. Next time.
That was great. Next time.
We can broadcast a happy hour in Vegas.
Next time you're coming.
I think that would I have to put my foot down. I'd have to tell the missus that I have to go to Vegas.
You have to go.
Mrs. New Jersey American she's ordering me to go. She's in charge of New Jersey, so I have to go.
Pretty much.
Now, you mentioned talking to other women, going out, meeting people, networking and stuff.
Sure.
Now, you've been on kind of a tour where you've been going to different towns all around New Jersey and meeting women-led businesses in the state.
Yeah, it's been amazing. So part of what I'm doing this year is I'm on a tour to the 21 counties of New Jersey. I'm meeting with women owners in all the counties, so women-owned businesses, and we're just building kind of like a supportive group where we can talk to one another about how we pivoted our businesses during the pandemic, just how we really support one another as business owners. And it's really been an incredible experience. I'm from Jersey, but I'm visiting places that I've never been to before, and beautiful areas of New Jersey that I've never been to before that I'm discovering for the first time. And I've just noticed that all the women I've met are just so supportive of one another, and they have a lot of hope. They have hope for the future. I was in Frenchtown. I talked with one.
Frenchtown? Where's Frenchtown? I never even heard of Frenchtown.
Frenchtown's an awesome town. I highly recommend visiting. It's almost like a Hallmark channel.
Like South Jersey,
like
North
movie.
Jersey? Where is it?
It's about an hour and 40 minutes north.
Okay.
So, like north west.
Yeah.
So it's not far from New Hope, I'm told. But it's a really beautiful town. It looks like a Hallmark movie, the town. I went in December, so it was Christmas, and it was all decorated for Christmas. It was so beautiful.
What business?
Santa Claus was there. They had policemen there to welcome me. The mayor was there.
Is that where you walked in the parade? Is that the parade?
No,
one?
that's a different. That was Vineland. Yeah.
Oh, that was another one.
That was a different.
Gave you a police escort.
That was a different. That was a different one, but that was a great time too. And no, Frenchtown was really cool. I highly recommend it because I was talking to one of the women owners there, and she said that, they really support one another during this difficult time. And she told me that when one of her fellow businesses on the street, when they were suffering and they almost were closing, another business stepped in and helped pay their bills.
That's awesome.
And so that's what they do for one another. And then I went to a bakery there, and they told me that I should check out the bakery down the street as well. Even though they're competitor business, they are supporting one another fully, and I think that's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Yeah,
and it just kind of felt really magical to have that positive spirit, that we can overcome anything, especially during this time.
And you mentioned kind of pivoting and businesses kind of working together. As far as your business, obviously promotional products. When all of this happened, you kind of did a little pivot yourself. Kind of switching over to creating masks, and not only like for obviously you create these promotional products, you have masks that you can create for businesses, but you're actually giving back and making sure that like they're being given out to other people that need, that are a little bit in need to get these things. You were just in Bader Field in Atlantic City.
We were giving out masks. The food bank there was giving out food to 2,200 families, and we had 30,000 masks, and we were giving them out one by one to the cars and giving out a bundle to them, and it was just an incredible experience. People don't realize that because of the pandemic, the need for hunger has increased 40 to 60% in our nation. So it's really important that we, help families that are struggling during this time. You never know who could be struggling. It could be, someone you see every day. It could be your neighbor. It could be a family member even that, it's something people don't normally want to discuss. And so we were so happy to be there to give out masks, because people who are struggling to put food on the table aren't thinking about spending money on masks. And we saw a lot of people with dirty cloth masks. And everybody should just be able to have a clean mask with extra protection. We give out the 3-ply masks that we make in Santa Ana, California. And those have the extra protection, extra filter on them to help keep people safe, because now that there's this other strand of COVID going around, and it's really important to keep people safe, and especially people who are in poverty, who are just worried about putting food on the table. They shouldn't have to worry about having a clean mask.
So how did you get connected with like Santa Ana, California? How did you make that connection to find a place that made masks, in the United States, in California? That's great. How did you figure that out?
Yeah. So when the pandemic happened, so we're a promo business, right? We put logos on t-shirts, hats, bags, right? So when the pandemic happened, we do a lot of events, and all of a sudden, all the events were canceled, right? And we were operating at 10 to 20% of our normal rate. And so we really had to make a decision and really decide fast what we were going to do. And at the time, hospitals started coming to us for masks. Their main supplier wasn't able to give them the masks that they needed, and they were desperate. And so we were able in the beginning to use our manufacturers overseas that normally make our pop sockets and fidget spinners. They were now making 3-ply masks and KN95 masks, and we were able to give them to the hospitals in the states and the frontline workers that were in need. But what we realized was I was on the phone with cargo ships and private planes. It's it's high dollars. It's a big risk.
Shipping costs and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's really risky. And what we decided was we can't really rely on overseas anymore. We really need to bring it to the USA, not worry about shipping times. So we partnered with a business in Santa Ana, California. So now Henderson Promos, now we are partnered, and we're making 3-ply and N95 masks in the factory in Santa Ana, California. And now we're able to supply and not worry about dealing with the overseas production times, and also keep costs low and employ American workers, especially during this time when so many people are looking for jobs. That's again another reason to do that. So we're so happy that we're able to transition our business during this time, keep it alive and successful, and also help a lot of people at the same time.
That's cool. So you grew up in the mean streets of Colts Neck, and go Cougars. You went to Colts Neck High.
Oh my God! Look at you. Yes. Okay.
So were you like a nerd in high school? I would imagine that you were kind of just friendly with that. Like if I could see maybe without the crown, just like walking down the hall, like waving to all. You weren't like socially awkward like in high school. I can imagine you being able to converse with anyone.
I was bullied in middle school. So
really?
I did go through a tough time.
Was it the crown? They didn't like that?
Unfortunately, I didn't have the crown though. So it was tough for me in middle school. I was bullied. I went through that period, and then so high school, I kind of like laid low. I worked a lot in high school. First, I did cheerleading. My first year. Then I did lacrosse, and then I was like, you know what, I got to get a job. So then I started. Sophomore year, I was a hostess at a restaurant, and then I worked at the downtown for a little bit.
Wow.
In,
totally local.
Yeah, and then I waitress, and so I was busy working.
You were too busy to worry with the high school shenanigans. You weren't.
I had a few close friends, but I wasn't super popular at all.
Do people run into you now and they're just like, I would have never thought all the way. Now you're Mrs. New Jersey American. I wouldn't have, you weren't like that kind of outgoing, like in high school.
I was always outgoing.
Were you in like extracurricular like
person.
clubs and, you mentioned lacrosse, but like, did you kind of do that? Glad handing people, making sure everyone's, comfortable, like you did with the waiter and Ming, asking to carry chairs and stuff?
I've always been outgoing and just keep the positive vibes out there, and spread. I like to spread love and joy to everyone I meet. So I've always kind of been like that. I think life's short and you should make the most of each day. And I've kind of been like that, for as long as I can remember. So high school I mostly worked, and then when I was finished with high school, I became a flight attendant. I was a flight attendant for a little while.
Now, did that help kind of like? It took me, speaking about jobs in Red Bank, one of my first jobs I was actually good at was I was a bellboy at the Molly Pitcher Inn.
Awesome. I love the Molly Pitcher.
I loved it there. It was somewhere where I could talk a lot, so I appreciated it. I met a lot of people from out of town. As far as being able to kind of, converse with a lot of different people, being a flight attendant, it kind of you're going a lot of different places.
Totally. And I was 19 at the time, so super young, and it was a really good learning experience because I really grew up fast kind of doing that. I met some really cool people, and I was the only flight attendant. It was a 37-seater prop plane. So I was based in Newark, but it was commercial, but it was Continental Connection, now United, right? That was before it was United.
Okay, all right.
And but it was cool. It was a really great time, and I got to travel and meet some cool people. And then I met my husband, and then we ended up moving to Hawaii. So I moved there for a couple years. And
is he from New Jersey?
He is. He's from the Red Bank area too.
Oh, wow.
He went to CBA.
How did you? Oh, CBA. That's I went to Mater Dei, so I spent like a lot of money where my parents spent a lot of money and didn't get the education that the CBA people got. So that's good.
My husband is a big he loves CBA.
Did you meet like because of the area, or where did you first meet?
So we actually met at Val's Tavern.
Man, it's so local. It's totally local. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Wow, of course I know Val's. Yeah.
So
lobster pizza.
He loves the food there, and I was there. We ran into each other, and we have mutual friends. So
did he have a line? Was he like, "Sup"? How old were you? How old were you guys when you met?
I was 19, so it was just.
Oh really? So he probably was like,
"Sup." It'll be 10 years ago. Yeah.
Is that what he said? Was that his line?
No.
I'll get the next lobster. I'll get the next round. Don't worry about it.
He's always been a gentleman.
I need to see a picture of young Bart.
Yeah, young Bart.
Cute. It's really cute.
So
you can scroll on my Facebook. Like your hand will get tired, but you'll have to scroll and you'll find a picture.
So you met. Was he 19? Is he a little older?
He's a year older. So he was.
So
he's a year and a half older. So I was almost 20. So I think he was 21. He just turned 21.
So you guys were dating from then. And still together to this day.
10 years later.
Wow.
And still together. We'll be married for 5 years, together for 10.
Well, congratulations.
It goes
that's
by
great.
fast. It's
oh, yeah. Tell me about it.
It's been awesome. And I'm so grateful.
And a Val's, nonetheless. That's super totally local.
So Val's Tavern, yeah. And then Bart was getting his undergrad in Hawaii, actually. So he was home and then we just kind of fell in love pretty quickly. And then I moved to Hawaii. I lived there with
That's a tough sell. Listen, I know we've this relationship has blossomed, but if you want to be with me, we're going to have to move to Hawaii. So that's pretty good, though.
And
that's
you know what
pretty
I said?
good.
Aloha.
Yeah, seriously. Wow, that's incredible.
No, it was great. And so we lived there for 2 years, and then I had to go back to school. I decided it was time to go back to school, and Bart got accepted to law school in Massachusetts, and then I got accepted to Boston University. So I ended up going to BU, and he went to law school, and we lived in Massachusetts for a little while.
How long were you in there? How long were you in Massachusetts for?
I think it was like 3 years we were in
Wow.
Massachusetts. Yeah.
You go from Hawaii to
directly,
Boston.
and it was the worst year in Massachusetts. It was like snow every day.
I'm
was-
sad outside. It was like 34 out when I was coming
Yeah,
here. It's like I
was
didn't
an
like it.
adjustment. It was definitely an adjustment in the beginning to go from so warm to so cold, you know.
Yeah.
But I grew up in Jersey, so
You could deal. You could
yeah.
deal.
I
That's
got
great.
used to it.
So you mentioned how you kind of were working hard in high school, and it seems like you've just been working hard since then. And you've mentioned the charities and different things that you've been involved in. It's interesting that you were involved with Applaud Our Kids.
Yeah.
So that's something where you're kind of funding children.
Mm-hmm.
This is something now, being a Modern Day alum. My senior year, I wasn't allowed to take an art class for some reason.
What?
Yeah, it's kind of similar to the whole thing that's going on with not being able to buy stock today. My senior year, because I figure out what's going on. My senior year, I'm like, I did all the credits. I know what to do. I want to take an art class because I'm a fruity art kid. I don't want to do math or any of that boring stuff. So, stay in school, kids. But this is just, for my personal, preferences. And I didn't want to do the math class. And I said, listen, I want to take art. I did all the requirements, blah, blah, blah. They wouldn't let me do it. They refused to let me.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear
Yeah.
that.
So it was very similar to,
Yeah.
we were talking before about the GameStop thing. They just said you can't do it, and I was very upset. And I got kicked out of the math class. That's a whole other story. We don't have to get into it. But Applaud Our Kids. It empowers children. There was at a certain point, I think it's shifting now, but it seems like people didn't put an emphasis on the arts or how important it is for children, if they like that sort of thing, to be able to express themselves.
Yeah.
So how did you get involved with that charity?
Sure. So Jody Grinwall and her sister Melissa, they created the Applaud Our Kids Foundation in memory of their father who passed away. And he didn't have the opportunity for the arts, and he was an incredible singer.
Mm-hmm.
And so they really wanted to give the arts to children whose families couldn't afford it. So singing, dancing, instrumental, acting lessons, they fund that.
So cool.
And it's incredible. And it's so important that children, like you said, have an outlet, especially during the pandemic when kids are home and, they don't have a way to release. And so I'm so grateful. I'm on the advisory board for the Applaud Our Kids Foundation, and I love working with them. And it's just such an incredible nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really important to, support our kids and help our kids in our community, because that's where it starts. It's really important to, help kids at that young age have that outlet so they can, become, who they're really meant to be.
Yeah.
If they don't have that they,
They become hoodlums like me. I was getting kicked out of class. They're like, "You're too loud, Andrew." I'm like, "Well, I like to talk." I'm like, "Give me a podcast." They're like, "What's a podcast?" They didn't
There's
understand
probably
it.
a podcasting class in high school now.
There should be.
And now,
I mean, right? Why not?
probably, yeah, for sure.
Professor Chen.
Yeah, well, you've taught classes at Brookdale, and
Nice.
Ming's brought it out to different high schools and
Nice.
schools and stuff. So
I think it's
Nice.
fantastic.
podcasting is becoming
That's
obviously
awesome.
more popular.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
for
that's
sure.
really that's kind of amazing that you're doing that. I don't know if I personally have the patience or the personality to deal with such things, and I'm glad that there's people out there doing that. And I don't even know where you would start as far as when you're on the committee to do that. Are you just kind of deciding where things are getting allocated, or how does that work? Is it just kind of you're voting on?
Sure. So families will reach out, and then there's only a certain amount of funds that they have, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we read the what they send us, and then we decide what families really need it. And obviously you want to give it to every child deserves the arts, so it's also important to help give back to our nonprofits so that we can help more and more children in the community in New Jersey and and the nation as well.
You've also talking about nonprofits, you've actually kind of gathered together a bunch of charities, nonprofits with the Giving Back Forum.
Yeah, so Henderson Promos co-founded the Giving Back Forum, which is an event at Bellworks, which brings together over 65 nonprofits into one space where they all have a table and they could, learn from one another and help raise awareness for their nonprofit. A lot of nonprofits have something in common in the area, so it's great that they could really collaborate, and allows them to really meet each other face to face. And so we did it last year. Of course this past year we couldn't do it because of the pandemic, but hopefully soon we can get another one going because it was so successful, and it was great to see all these nonprofits together. It was really amazing.
Yeah.
It was really incredible.
You'd think that they would be all fighting, to get that, they need that charity, that they would be kind of
But you know what?
duking it out.
Some nonprofits are hurting right now.
Uh-huh.
Right? There's obviously an emphasis on food insecurity and PPE. But some of the other non-for-profits are not getting the same amount of attention and funds that they would have pre-COVID, right? The attention
Sure.
on food. There's a lot of addiction issues right now, depression issues. There's a lot of need in every community.
Yeah, so I also work with the Tigger House Foundation, raising awareness for opioid addiction. Because of the pandemic, overdoses have increased over 17% in our state. So, addicts haven't been able to use, and then once they use, then they overdose because they haven't been. And so I work closely with them. I lost my brother-in-law from an opioid overdose. So I think it's really important that we, continue to educate the youth on the dangers of addiction, especially during the pandemic when, people are stuck at home and they get bored, and it's
depressed.
Yeah. So I think it's really important to continue to keep that in the forefront because it's not only affecting New Jersey, it's affecting the world. Actually,
it's affecting everywhere.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a huge epidemic that we really need to focus on. And
You do also, you work with Fulfill, right?
A little bit. I may be on, the board of directors over there.
Awesome.
So you've both worked with Fulfill on some capacity. It's like a food bank. Right?
Yeah, food bank of Monmouth and Ocean counties, and again, food banks are so critical during this time. So it's so important that we it's essential, right? So I'm so happy to work with them. They do amazing things for our community, right, Aaron?
It's a challenge, right? It's a challenge, both getting, food into the warehouse and getting food onto people's tables. I mean, Kim does a fantastic job keeping our staff in the communities and making sure that, we support who we can support. And it comes from everywhere, right? From the schools during the school year. There were issues last year. There's issues this year. Any other after-school program. Many after-school programs have been cut because kids are home. Parents are home. There's just a lot of issues around food insecurity, and we do a lot with local pantries, the church groups and the other nonprofit smaller pantries that can serve immediate communities. So there's a lot of need for food, a lot of need for donations for all these nonprofits.
That's great. I mean, I'm glad you guys
and
are
not just people that are dumping their money into Robinhood app to game the system.
I was very upset today. I was very upset. I don't know if you were paying attention to the.
I saw a little bit of that. Yeah, I did.
They weren't allowing people GameStop stock. You weren't allowed to buy it, and all these retail investors, normal people wanted to buy it,
Sure.
and they just kind of shut it off. And it's the most insane. It's going to go down in history as like today is going to be remembered. It's so unfathomable. Unfathomable.
What they were able to accomplish though throughout the entire week was unfathomable.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah. It went from like nothing to $350.
I was very late to the party, right? It went from $5 to $350 just because of a Reddit thread.
Yeah.
And I trolled Reddit for quite a while because I was bored last night when I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
And just reading these threads and watching these individual investors game this system, and I'm like, I hope nobody gets really hurt by trying to game the system.
Well, only people are gonna get hurt are hedge funders. So whatever. There's stories of people that they're following this silly Reddit thread, and they're like, I couldn't pay my bills. My sister needs to go to the hospital. And now I have all this money to take care of, a regular person
as long
can
as
take
they were
care.
able to sell it and cash out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of
If
crazy.
they can't trade it, they can't cash out either.
Yeah, true. Well, that's the messed up thing is that if
Right,
you're on
you're stuck.
Robinhood, you could sell it. They want you to sell it. You could sell it, but you can't buy it, which is like really, I don't know, kind of messed up.
Wild.
But yeah, it is actually totally wild, and that's why I'm glad I can have a little cocktail today. Speaking of which, you went dry for dry January of last year, 2020.
I did.
And then you just decided that alcohol's dumb and I don't want to drink anymore.
That's
right?
it. Yeah. So
You just went for it.
Last year I went for it dry January 2020, and I just felt so much better after 1 month of giving up alcohol. Not that I was ever a big drinker. I only had a couple of drinks, here and there. But if I would have just two 2 glasses of beer, I would have a headache the next day, or 2 glasses of wine. So it really affected me, and of course it affects everybody differently. But for me, it dried me out. I had a headache. It would take me a couple days to recover just from 2 glasses.
And then she won Mrs. New Jersey.
Yeah. See, kids, you don't need to drink to have a good time. Do you want to be Mrs. New Jersey? Stop drinking.
So I gave it up, and then I decided to just keep it going. And then it helped that Bart, my husband, did it with me too. So I had a teammate, which helps. And then we had our go-to drinks too. So we drink a lot of seltzer with lime, seltzer with a splash of cran. Mm-hmm. It actually helps to have a go-to non-alcoholic beverage or a mocktail. It helps quench that thirst a little bit in the beginning, you know. And it's just been going, and I still don't drink today. I haven't had a drink since Christmas 2019. So
it's just a personal choice, though. It's not like you're trying to prove anything.
No, it's just a personal choice because I personally feel better without it. And to each their own. Like I don't care if anyone else is drinking. I love it. I want people to have fun. We do the non-alcoholic beers too, and like in the summer we're on the boat. You know, people don't even know we're not drinking. We're just having non-alcoholic beers, and we blend in. I want people to have fun and drink around us. I don't want people to feel like they can't drink around us.
Because you and your husband like to throw parties also.
We do. Yeah. Well, not since, unfortunately, we haven't been able to in a while. Well, but hopefully again soon.
And that's why Tam showed up, because she thought we were hosting
Yes, my mother-in-law is here, everybody. She showed up. We have an audience member. I'm so excited. She's always supporting me.
Where's the rest of the party?
It's at happy hour it's just the title.
She thought there was going to be a party here. Yeah. You know what?
Next time.
We will
Next
party.
time, we were going to do a party, but we decided not to. But I'm so happy my mother-in-law showed up. She's always so supportive.
Well,
we're going to get Tam on the podcast.
Definitely.
I call her Samantha, my nickname for her.
Me? I love doing podcasts. That's where I want to be a talk show host, game show host, any kind of host.
There you go. Yeah.
But, we did for the 100th episode, Epic Shouts, Long Branch Distillery, a wonderful place. We did a small gathering, whatever the capacity would allow. It's a huge space that you could rent out, so we had people spaced out. We had different podcasters there podcasting, and it was so much fun. And I really think that, once this all opens up, happy hour will be a happy hour where we can actually invite people while we're ranting.
That would be great.
We'll be there soon.
I think so. People are getting, the vaccinations are spreading out there. Things are opening up. The death rate is plummeting, which is, important that people are not expiring from all this.
Yeah, it's important that people wear, masks when they're out just to help stop spread.
What do you? Okay, so people are getting the promotional mask. Say I wanted a totally local mask that people wanted to get for promotion purposes.
Sure.
I'll buy one.
Would you don't put it on the front? Is it on like the side?
So we could do the cloth mask. We could put a logo on the cloth mask. Any color, logo, any color mask.
Well, what looks cool, like on the side or on the front?
People do the front full. Yeah. People do smaller on the side, on the right side or the left side. Your choice. We could send you a virtual proof.
Oh yeah. See,
make it happen.
Always be selling. I like that. Now, aside from masks as promotional items. You go to conventions, you go to events. I've been to a handful of random, I've been to a bartending convention. I've been to real estate conventions ad nauseum. And, I'm sick of pens. And I don't want crap that I don't want to I want something useful that I'm going to use.
Wait.
What?
So remember last March when I had my Wine Loft event?
Yes.
You were there.
Yes, I was there.
Right. What did I give away?
You gave away the wine, the wine cork with the wine opener in the box.
Guess who made the wine opener and the wine cork in the cherry box?
Yes, I did.
Oh, those are beautiful. That's something where it's like I still have it to this day, obviously, and I've used it. It's what are some unique items? I mean, that's a pretty large item, but what are some unique items?
Cheap, but we remember it.
Oh yeah,
and we don't throw it away.
No, it's definitely.
Well, it depends on the item. We work with clients all different price points. A client will come to me and say, "I only want $1 promos. I want 100, or I want $15 to $25 range, send me your bestsellers, and then I'll send a custom catalog of our bestsellers in those price range, or they could search our website.
So price range, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was thinking more like item versus, but the price range, that's a better angle to kind of go. Like, what can you spend, and then you can figure out
what
the
you
best
spend per
things.
piece, and then this way, our website has over 700,000 products, so you could be there all day and not know which ones to get.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why our team will send over about 30 of our bestsellers or less for our customers to just browse through. So you don't have to spend all that time on the website.
I'm thinking like little flashlight. I don't want a keychain that doesn't do anything.
Some people do, like the
microphones?
like the wireless
Microphones.
earbuds. Wireless earbuds are like techie items are popular.
Yeah, something that you could actually, you're gonna reuse it.
Chapstick. Chapstick is one of our big sellers. It's really inexpensive, and in the winter, everybody needs chapstick, right?
Yeah.
So they're gonna reach for it and then see your logo every time that they use it. So I love items like that. If
the hand sanitizer,
if you're only looking to spend like $1 or less,
yeah,
that's a great item. You know, or gum. We sell gum with logos on it, or mints. These are items that people are gonna reach for every day. So it's nice to just have them see your logo every day.
Do people expect when they call up like Henderson promos, they want to talk to somebody? Are they like, look, put Mrs. New Jersey American on the phone, or I'm not buying from you? Like, do they expect to talk to you?
I haven't heard that yet.
Are they like, where's Kristina? I want to talk to her. I don't want to talk to you.
That call may come in tomorrow.
Yeah.
I know, right? I'll go.
Yeah.
That's right. He'll mask his voice.
No, people love talking to our team. Our team is very helpful, and and I'll pick up the phone. Like I'm at the office a lot too, so sometimes I will answer the phone. It'll be me.
Is it based in Red Bank?
We're based in Red Bank. Yeah. So we're actually moving our office today to a new spot. So I'm so excited.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We're on Maple Ave now. We were on Broad, so I'm so excited.
But you're keeping it in Red Bank.
Always, yeah. Red Bank's our home. Our Red Bank home.
That's great.
Is our Henderson Promos home.
Yeah.
But we work nationwide, so that's just our office hub.
Well, no, that's good to be in Red Bank. The only problem with Red Bank is the parking is like, they need some kind of parking structure in the middle of Red Bank or something. Other than that, they need somewhere to park.
Bad.
Well, now with the pandemic going on, no, but in the heat of the summer, when you're you just want to go to Starbucks and it's on that friggin' corner.
Oh, that's impossible. That's impossible. That's impossible. Yeah.
Go to Rose.
I gave up on that. Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
there's.
But the summer in Red Bank this summer, with all the outdoor dining and the closed
it was amazing.
street, was
Yeah,
fantastic.
it was amazing.
Having dinner at Catch outside with
Favorite
the DJ
restaurant, by the
going
way.
till like midnight. I feel bad for anybody that lives upstairs. I go to bed at 9 o'clock, so I would hate that. But
Well, they're
was
they're on
awesome.
DJ
Broad
in the street and everybody out enjoying themselves and
lively
no issues
again, and it was amazing.
eating angry shrimp and lobster outside.
The best dish.
So cool.
What's
Where is
now?
our
What
angry
is
shrimp and
what
lobster?
is
by
it?
the way?
Yeah, where's angry shrimp and lobster?
Is thebomb.com.
It's just spicy.
It's amazing.
So is it just
It's got
I
some
guess
heat.
So you can get it over pasta. They have it as an appetizer.
If the viewers
Or
at
you can
home
get
don't
over
know, Mrs. New Jersey American loves Catch 19 Red Bank. This is your favorite restaurant? Would
My
you say?
favorite restaurant.
Wow,
yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, for sure. I love everybody who works here. I love the owners, and I love the incredible food. I love the ambiance. There's nothing better than Catch, and I love being in Red Bank. My favorite place. So.
Your favorite dish then is the angry
shrimp and lobster. I get it over linguine al dente, and it is to die for. The Italian side of me comes out.
That's great. That's great. Well, I'm excited to try
I mean,
that.
the chef forgot about us because we did say like 15 minutes ago.
That's okay.
bring it
They're
up.
busy.
I think they're bringing out some food, hopefully, so
That's
we'll get to showcase
nice.
a little bit.
That's
We'll take
for
pictures.
everybody.
So I mean, aside from the parking issue, which is a thing, Red Bank is a great place to be. What are some of your other favorite spots? Obviously here.
The Molly Pitcher I go to every year on my birthday, July 3rd.
Oh,
my
wow.
mom and I have a breakfast at the Molly Pitcher. It's our
Nice.
annual tradition. So the Molly Pitcher, I've been going there since I was a little kid. So and it hasn't changed.
Yeah,
So,
is Mr. Barry? I was there last February. The owner, Mr. Barry, he was carving up. He was at the carving station. I was like,
Oh.
bro, how old are you? You look exactly the same.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's a staple.
Yeah, it's an ambiance to
Yeah.
it that you can't really
Yeah.
match. I go in there and it's so funny. I see the little carts and I was a good coat check guy.
yeah.
It really develops your personality when you're forced to kind of talk to people and oh, I'm going to talk to this person. Don't be shy because they may tip you. It kind of opens you up to being a little more
Outgoing.
personable. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Working in the restaurant industry
Oh, yeah.
at a young age was so beneficial for my growth, 100%.
You meet so many different people. So
Yeah.
every July 3rd, You go there for breakfast?
I do.
Wow.
I go there for breakfast with my mom, just me and my mom. Mm-hmm. Nobody else.
That's cool.
Nobody else is allowed to come.
So what do you get the same thing, or is it just you switch it up?
I usually get the lobster roll, but they use a croissant. So it's like,
it's breakfasty with the croissant.
Breakfasty, and then I have a nice cup of coffee, and I take a little pic for the gram, for the birthday gram. And we just have a nice time. It's just nice to have that tradition, you know. And, so to do that, and then Bart and I were at Biravino the other night, which is excellent pasta there. Fantastic. Have you been?
I have. I don't think I've been there. No. Where's it at?
Biravino's like across the street from Molly Pitcher.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's not like across. It's
like diagonal.
On the bend.
Oh, what was it called? What was it called before?
Basil Teas.
Yes.
Basil
All right.
Teas.
Yes. Yeah. I haven't been there since they switched it over. I was just driving down. Was it Monmouth Street? And I went by Count Basie, and it's like Count Basie is like this giant complex. There's all these new buildings.
Yeah, I actually noticed that too the other day.
I couldn't. I was like, what's going on over there?
Yeah.
Like they can't. It must have been the timing. They couldn't. They had construction going on, and they just so happened to finish it. But there's a lot of
right?
It looks awesome.
Looks amazing. I can't wait to go to concerts there.
I've been coming to Red
Word
Bank.
on the street is the Basie is working on a potential outdoor venue.
Ooh,
where are they going to
that's
put
exciting.
it? They're going to make a flotilla in the river. Where are they going to put it?
I don't know, but that's a rumor that I heard.
That's
maybe Bruce will open it up and.
Beautiful.
There's some big outdoor spaces in our area, so well see. Hopefully, once the weather gets warm,
Aaron
we'll
has
start
like
to
an inside track that he's
start
not
to drop it.
in.
I don't want to get in trouble. But I heard somebody told me.
Yeah, I love Red Bank. I was coming here since I was a kid. I've told this story probably a few too many times, but I would get bus tickets because I'm from the mean streets of Highlands. So like, the bus didn't want to. From modern day, they're like, we're not going to Highlands, so they'd give you like public transit like bus tickets. So I would just save them up and then mooch rides off of my friends, and then I would just cruise into Red Bank. I would just hand them out, just be like, here you go. You'd have to give them a couple extra, and then you just take it to Red Bank. I just hang out at Red Bank all day.
I can imagine my kids on public transit.
Yeah, that's what I would.
So much to do here.
Oh man,
you hang out in the park. You can. Get some food.
That's what I was. That's what I would do,
go
and that's
Jack's
what I.
Music show.
Oh yeah, I remember when Jax was on this side of the street. That's how long I've been coming to Red Bank. Yeah.
When was that?
I mean, that was the early '90s,
That was when
mid-90s.
this was Hamilton Jewelers.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, well, I'm older than I look. We've talked about so much that I it just flew by. I understand now why you are Mrs. New Jersey American.
Thank you so
it makes
much.
sense.
That's so sweet.
I was worried I'd meet you and you'd be like a robot and you'd be like, "Hello,
My
love
name
things."
is Kristina.
Yeah. But you're actually fun to talk to.
Thank you.
I don't know if that's a good compliment
That's
or
a
not,
great
but
compliment.
actually fun to talk to. You could put that into your speech when you win, like Mrs. If it's Mrs. New Jersey American, is it just Mrs. American?
That's it.
Wow, what a title!
It makes it so much easier.
Can people vote on that? Who's the committee? Who gets to
The
decide
judges in
this?
Vegas. Yeah.
Where are these judges coming from? How did they get that like honor to be able to like bestow this crown on people? Are they previous winners or are they?
I'm not sure who. They pick from all different areas.
They probably don't want people to know because then there'd be bribery.
Have to go grease them up.
Whatnot going on. So they're mysterious judges. So they're not. It's postponed till March.
So March 27th is the final night. So I'm going to be there for a week before, going to events with the other girls throughout Vegas, and then the last night, the 27th, is the day of the pageant, and so that's when we'll find out. And we'll
do they like throw like questions at you that you don't know ahead of time? Like how do they?
Yeah, so that's the interview. So the pageant interview, which is part of the process, and you just go. You have no idea what they're going to ask you. It's a 3-minute timed interview, and so any question's really fair game.
Wow, really?
But it's normally just about yourself and who you are. They want to really get to know you, and that's pretty much it. So it'll probably be about things I've done, maybe, or really.
Do you get like nervous when you're in front of like a bunch of people? Do you put on like, it's funny, my mom, I love my mom, she's from Bayonne, and when she's talking like she's from Bayonne, but when she's a real estate agent, when she talks to me, hey, then she's like in her mode of real estate. She's like, hello, how are you today? Does that happen to you where you're in front of a bunch of people? And
I'm pretty much going to talk like this.
Okay, cool.
This is me. This is who I am. I talk to people every day, and so I feel like I get a lot of practice for the interview.
Yeah.
And just give it my best shot and just have fun with it. You know, that's it. You know, I'm gonna be the best me I can be, and just it's mostly to me about having fun and making friends and just giving it my best shot. And at the end of the day, I already feel like a winner being Mrs. New Jersey. I've had the best year yet, and
She's selling me on it, right? No! If I was a judge, I'm already a winner. I'm going to use that. Like, I'm talking to people.
But I really feel that way. I feel like this has been the best year ever, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity. So, you know, whatever happens, happens.
Let it roll.
Yeah.
Let it roll. That's it.
Wow.
Seize the day, right?
That's it.
Oh, carpe diem. I love that. Aaron, I
I'm
think
useless
we did...
in this conversation. I'm just sitting here like, you know, the redheaded stepchild, you know, sipping my drink.
Well, I mean, I think we
but
about
it was
covered
great.
it. We're gonna wait for our second cocktail. We're gonna have some angry lobster and
Yes,
shrimp,
yes.
and talk a little more. But I
Yeah.
think we've about covered it. It was really nice meeting you.
It was so nice to meet you. This has been amazing. I had such a great time. You guys are so easy to talk to. And so, yeah.
Thank you. Well,
next time.
Yeah, I mean, Ming, thank you so much.
Thank
Shared
you, Ming.
Universe
Right. You're the
Podcast
best.
Studio. Totally_local_podcast on Instagram. If you wanna follow the show. If you wanna follow Kristina, what is your Instagram handle?
So it's Kristina, Kristina _Henderson_.
Perfect.
And you can check out Henderson promos as well at Henderson promos, and or at Mrs. New Jersey American.
All right, cool. We got Aaron Levine, LG Insurance. You're still here. That's good. You know. Thanks for connecting us all. You're a great connector. Everything's
Just call me, you know, producer Aaron.
Catch 19, Red Bank, guys.
Yes.
Check it out.
Check it
Beautiful
out.
food.
It's awesome.
Beautiful food, I've heard. Angry Lobster. Come here, check it out. Thank you, everyone. And I don't know. Have a good day. Stay warm.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.